Mirjana's Medjugorje message, a call to transform and prepare spiritually in a world that is increasingly unstable, divided, and uncertain. The message delivered by the Virgin Mary in Medjugorje stands as a powerful and urgent call for deep spiritual preparation and personal transformation. This divine communication, which resonates with clarity and hope, urges all of humanity, whether devout or distant from faith, to return to God with renewed hearts. The Virgin Mary's message is not just a plea but a divine imperative for a radical spiritual reawakening, one that transcends the distractions and busyness of modern life. At a time when fear, confusion, and division seem to be taking hold of society, Mary's words echo a profound urgency. She calls for a return to God, a rededication to spiritual growth, and a return to the path of Christ. Her message emphasizes that this call is for everyone, even those who have strayed or wandered away from faith. It is a universal appeal, reaching out to those who may feel disconnected from God and urging them to turn their hearts back to Him. The message is crystal clear. We must set aside the distractions and superficial pursuits that have taken hold of our lives, and focus instead on cultivating a deeper, more authentic spiritual relationship. This is not just about personal piety or ritual. It is about transforming our hearts and minds to align with God's will. The Virgin Mary speaks of an urgency that cannot be ignored. The days ahead will be difficult, and only those who are spiritually prepared will have the strength to endure the trials that are to come. These trials are not limited to external hardships. They will challenge the soul, testing our faith, commitment, and resilience. Spiritual preparation, according to the Virgin Mary, is not a mere precaution. It is a vital necessity. It strengthens the soul in ways that will allow individuals to withstand the challenges of both body and spirit. This preparation, above all, requires prayer, specifically the Rosary, which Mary presents as a divine shield against the forces of evil. But the Rosary is not just a ritualistic prayer. It is a powerful spiritual weapon, capable of illuminating the darkest of times and providing the guidance we need when the path seems unclear. With each Hail Mary, grace flows not only to the person praying but to the world at large. In her call for prayer, Mary is not simply concerned with the individual's well-being. She envisions a global transformation. She believes that the power of prayer can change the course of history, alleviate suffering, and bring peace to troubled hearts. The Rosary, when prayed with true faith, becomes a tool for healing, reconciliation, and the restoration of peace in the world. It is through this prayer that Mary believes we can shift the course of events and draw closer to God's will. Yet, while prayer is powerful, the Virgin Mary stresses that true conversion begins in the heart. It is not enough to go through the motions of external acts of piety. Conversion must be genuine and transformative. This change must begin deep within, altering the very essence of a person's soul. External practices alone are not enough to face the coming trials. We must undergo a spiritual rebirth, one that strengthens us for the challenges we will inevitably face, both in the material world and in our spiritual lives. Mary's message is a reminder that true conversion is a process of ongoing inner transformation. It is not merely about following rules or completing religious tasks, but about allowing the love of God to permeate every aspect of our lives. This deeper, more authentic conversion is necessary not just to survive the coming trials, but to thrive spiritually and overcome the hardships that lie ahead. In summary, Mirjana's message from Medjugorje invites us all to engage in a radical transformation of heart and mind. It is a call to prepare spiritually, not just for external challenges, but for the deeper, more profound trials that will test our faith and resilience. Prayer, particularly the Rosary, is a powerful tool in this preparation, serving as a shield and a source of divine grace. But true preparation also requires an internal shift, a commitment to true spiritual conversion. The world is changing, and the Virgin Mary is urging us to take action. Let us not wait for the signs to pass us by, but heed her call today, with hearts open to God's love and grace. Let us embrace the transformative power of prayer, seek genuine conversion, and prepare ourselves and our communities for the challenges that lie ahead. Through our faith, prayer, and commitment to spiritual growth, we can emerge stronger, more united, and closer to the heart of God. Thank you for joining us in this reflection today. If this message resonated with you, we encourage you to subscribe and stay tuned for more insights on how we can walk the path of faith, love, and spiritual renewal in these challenging times. May we all find the strength and grace to follow the Virgin Mary's call and be prepared for the future with unwavering faith. In a world that grows ever more unstable and divided, the Virgin Mary's revelations present a powerful and urgent warning. She foresees catastrophic disasters impacting countries across the globe, such as Mexico, Colombia, Spain, and Venezuela. These nations, along with others, will face not only physical trials, but also a profound spiritual battle. The natural calamities and internal strife that will unfold are inevitable. Yet Mary emphasizes that the real challenge lies not in the material realm, but in the hearts and souls of humanity. It is a spiritual crisis of unprecedented proportions that will test the very core of society's values. Mary's words cut to the heart of the matter. Though natural disasters may devastate entire regions, it is the moral and spiritual decay that will truly shake the foundations of society. The world will face a global spiritual crisis, and it is through a collective religious awakening that humanity can hope to overcome the trials ahead. Mary warns that this time of upheaval will lead many astray, causing confusion and deception that will make it harder for people to discern the truth. In the face of these looming dangers, she calls on the faithful to place their unwavering trust in Christ, who is the true source of protection, strength, and salvation. In these dark times, when rage, division, and indifference seem to dominate, Mary urges the faithful to become agents of change, agents of love, peace, and compassion. It is through acts of solidarity, kindness, and unity that the light of Christ can be spread, pushing back the darkness that threatens to engulf the world. Her message is clear. In a society that increasingly turns away from God, it is the duty of every believer to rise above fear, to stand firm in faith, and to bring the peace of Christ into every corner of the world. One of the most powerful images in Mary's prophecies is that of flaming skies, which signify a period of profound spiritual darkness. These fiery visions are not just warnings of physical disasters, they are a call to awaken spiritually and seek God with all our hearts. Despite the severity of the coming trials, Mary urges us not to allow fear or chaos to control us. Instead, she encourages the faithful to remain steadfast in their faith, knowing that God's protection is always available to those who seek it in prayer. Central to Mary's message is the importance of Saint Michael the Archangel, the leader of the heavenly host, who will defend the righteous from the forces of evil. His role in this spiritual struggle is not symbolic, it is real and vital. Mary calls on the faithful to invoke Saint Michael's protection through prayer, particularly during these turbulent times. As the forces of darkness grow stronger, it is essential for believers to actively seek the intercession of this powerful archangel. The battle we face is both spiritual and material. Mary speaks of the rise of the Antichrist, the spread of apostasy, and the widespread denial of divine truth, issues that reflect the deepening moral relativism of our age. In a world where truth is often obscured and questioned, Mary calls on the faithful to remain vigilant and firm in their devotion to God. The forces of evil will try to deceive and lead people astray, but Mary reminds us that prayer, especially the Rosary, is our greatest weapon in this spiritual battle. Through the Rosary, we can stay close to the Virgin Mary and seek her intercession, ensuring that we remain anchored in the truth of Christ. Despite the gravity of the warnings, Mary's message is not one of despair. She reassures the faithful that God will never abandon his people, even in the darkest of times. Those who consecrate themselves to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary will be protected and guided through the storms that lie ahead. Her words remind us that, though the challenges may be immense, God's love, mercy, and protection will always be with us, and through faith and prayer, we can navigate these turbulent times. Mary's call is urgent. Now is the time for spiritual preparation, for deepening our relationship with Christ, and for standing firm in our faith. Let us not be swayed by the fear and confusion of the world, but rather let us be beacons of light, love, and hope, shining in the darkness and leading others to the saving grace of God. Mary's message, A. Call to spiritual renewal and strength in the face of adversity. Mary, in her loving and maternal wisdom, reassures us that no matter how overwhelming the forces of evil may seem, the light of faith will always prevail. The darkness that is approaching, she explains, is not the final chapter of humanity's story. Rather, it is a pivotal moment, an opportunity for deep spiritual renewal, purification, and a chance for believers to partake in God's ultimate victory over evil. These challenging times are not a reason for despair but a call to rise, to strengthen our faith, and to prepare ourselves for the ultimate triumph of good over evil. At the heart of Mary's message is a powerful call to prayer, particularly the Rosary. She urges each one of us to pray this sacred prayer daily, promising that doing so will not only fortify our individual faith, but also bring blessings upon the world. The Rosary, she emphasizes, is a divine tool capable of transforming even the most desperate circumstances. It is a source of grace, a shield against spiritual dangers, and a way to draw closer to God's love. Through this simple but profound prayer, we can find the strength to overcome trials, and in doing so, experience God's protection and intervention in our lives. Mary also encourages the faithful to come together in prayer, united in spirit as a community. In a time of division and confusion, it is crucial to remain united, for when we pray together, we become a powerful force against the forces of darkness. She assures us that even though the world may seem filled with uncertainty, there is immense power in collective prayer. When Christians come together in harmony, they form an unshakable foundation for facing the challenges that lie ahead. Yet, Mary's message does not stop at personal transformation or prayer alone. She calls Christians to go beyond passive belief and actively live out their faith through acts of love, kindness, and charity. In an age marked by hatred, division, and indifference, Mary implores her children to be beacons of light in the world. It is not enough to simply profess our faith. We must live it out every day by helping those in need, offering both material and spiritual support. These acts of compassion become even more powerful in times of crisis, when the world is most in need of love and hope. Mary's vision for her children is clear: to become living manifestations of God's love on earth, to extend His grace to those around us, and to offer hope and comfort to those who are suffering. In times of darkness, our love and compassion shine even brighter. When we act out of love for others, we not only reflect the heart of God, but also become instruments of peace and healing in a broken world. In Medjugorje, Mary's message is both a warning and a promise. It calls for profound self-reflection, spiritual preparation, and unwavering faith in the face of hardships. The road ahead may be filled with trials, but Mary assures us that we are never alone. God's protection, granted through prayer and devotion, will see us through the storm. Those who trust in His love and commit themselves to His will emerge from this dark time victorious. The forces of evil, though powerful, will not have the final say. The true victory belongs to God, and to those who remain faithful to Him. It is now time for each of us to renew our commitment to Him, to purify our souls, and to unite in prayer. Through these acts of faith, we prepare ourselves not only to survive the challenges ahead, but to thrive in God's love and truth. As we look toward the uncertain future, let us be inspired by Mary's words and commit ourselves to a life of prayer, charity, and spiritual growth. With God's grace and the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary, we can face the darkness with hope, knowing that His light will lead us through. Together, united in faith, we will emerge from this period stronger, more devoted, and more aligned with God's will than ever before. Thank you for joining us on this journey of reflection and faith. Your engagement with this message adds power to the mission of spreading hope, love, and faith to the world. Until the next time, may you find peace and strength in the unwavering love of God.